All right, welcome back to another episode of the Sleddercast podcast. We're live, coming in hot here from Boise, Idaho. Dave, Melissa Wagner,
Hey guys.
welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you guys are everywhere, and glad we were able to pull you aside and sit you down on a couch and have a conversation about snowmobiling today.
That's what I'm saying. I'll tell you, this Boise show is really hot. There's a lot of people walking around here, and they're all having a good time. So
yeah,
we're excited about that.
This has been we really like the Boise show is one of our most fun shows we do. It's in our home state, obviously. We have a lot of friends and buddies over here and companies that we get to. Last night we were go-kart racing till midnight with the crew. So it's a great time over here in Boise.
I mean, anything with a motor, right?
Yeah, it's a little warm. We've had no snow really yet, so hopefully by the time this goes live, there is a plethora, an abundance of snow.
Looks like there's some weather coming
next week, I think, right?
It's gonna come.
Yeah,
it'll be here before you know it.
It will.
Yeah,
it always does. Hopefully, and lots of it. So
we got this.
We do.
Yep, it's coming.
Yeah. So I obviously I've seen you guys online. You guys, are very, very active on social media, but also in person. I mean, let's talk through some of these things. The events that you guys have attended this year so far, let's say from September on, like give me a list of these events.
A lot of snow shows. We missed Heydays because I had doctor's appointments, but
yeah, unfortunately we
else.
did miss Heydays, so that was really too bad. But yes, we did make it to the Utah Snow Show. We went to the Kalispell Snow Show, and here we are in Idaho. And we've been a few other places in between, but we are so looking forward to a really fun season. We have a lot of events planned this season. David is going to be racing Rimshaw, so we're going to be at all of the Rimshaw races this year. And yeah, December 5th, we're going to be out in Salt Lake City at the Young's headquarters.
Open house.
Doing their open house event. So that'll be really cool. We're looking forward to that. We're going to be talking some snowmobiles there.
Great. And where do you guys call home base?
Mostly California.
Mostly California.
We spend a lot of time. We used to spend a lot of time in Alaska, about 6 months out of the year, racing Iron Dog up there. And doing Rimshaw this year, we'll be staying at our place in Utah for the majority of the winter, probably.
Great. When's the last time you did Rimshaw?
Never have.
Never. So you've never done Rimshaw?
Never.
You've just done
Rimshaw.
Iron Dog?
Just Iron Dog. So you have Rimshaw, and then you have Kane's Quest. Them are the two things I want to do still. So
sweet.
We'll see how this year goes.
Awesome.
I was only going to do a couple races, and then Melissa and Cody said you have to do all 8, so that's what we're going to do.
You're doing them all. I guess you may be familiar with Melissa's voice, right? Because don't you have you're like full time this year with a new gig with Rimshaw and Flow TV? Is that in the works? Maybe.
I feel like it's kind of in the works.
Kind of in the works.
But yeah. I do like to talk snowmobiles, and for sure I'll be at all of the races, and I'm looking for something to keep me busy.
Nice.
I'm not really a racer personally.
She did Flow Television last year with Trace, and the two of them got it down going pretty well, didn't you?
It was very, very fun. We had a good time.
She wasn't too interested in the first when I threw her in there, but that all changed.
I mean, I either want to be riding or I want a heater. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. There you go. Well, we'll be looking forward to that, and we'll see you guys at some of the Rimshaw events this year. So, but as far as snowmobiling goes, what's your guys's what's your history of snowmobiling? I mean, lifers, late bloomers.
I've been riding snowmobiles as long as I could walk. My dad started out racing RUPs way back when. We'd go to West Yellowstone for the oval races, and he raced a couple other big races, and then ended up with a Kawasaki dealership, and we sold RUPs and Scrolls, 4 Winds. He sold 4 Winds for a while.
Wow.
And then he retired when he was like 37 years old and walked away from it all. We kind of went away, and I don't know, we'd been married for about 8 years, and I said it was time to go do it again. Bought a couple old Arctic cats. Melissa hated it. She was, no way, I'm not doing this. She cried, had a fit. And about 6 years ago, we jumped into it and started racing Iron Dog. And my goal is to ride 100 to 110 days every year. And
excellent.
That's what we do. She loves it now.
Yeah.
She has warm clothes, and they're not ski clothes, so she has fun.
I mean, to be fair, so my learning to like snowmobiling came from the day David decided we were going to buy these 2 janky old sleds and a tilt trailer.
They weren't janky at the time.
They were cool. They were old sleds, and I felt like it was a ton of money back then, but it was probably like $1,000 or $1,500, and it felt like a ton of money. Like, I mean, the rewind 20 years ago. And we went and picked these sleds up, and he was so excited. And we go out, just him and I, on a snow day. And I had like my Walmart cotton dollar pair of gloves on, and I had like some really cheapy snow boots. And I think I had on some ski pants that, like my snowboard pants. So I had snowboard pants, and I had like some Columbia boots or something, and just like those stretchy cotton gloves that you know, like you could buy them at the dollar store or something. And so that's what I wore, and we went out and we go riding up the trail on these 2 old sleds. And at first it was kind of fun, but David was so excited because he rode his whole life, and you know, here I am brand new, and he goes, I'm gonna go off and like catch some powder, and I'll be right back. And so I couldn't start the sled, for one. So I couldn't start the sled. I didn't know where I was. And he left to go play in the powder, and he got stuck and didn't come back. And so I sat there on this trail, and we were seriously all alone. I didn't see another soul for more than an hour. And I thought he died, right? And I'm like...
And you're next, right?
Like, he died. I'm freezing.
Bigfoot was going to get you.
I can't start the sled. They didn't have reverse. You know, the whole thing. If anything could go wrong, it did that day. And I didn't pack anything with me. I just, you know, went out into the wilderness with nothing. Not even like a granola bar type thing.
Yep.
You know, well, anyways.
That's the proper way to break someone in. You know, give them the worst experience possible. Yeah. If they come back, they're going to be a lifer, right?
Well, she turned into a lifer. It's her life now. I say it all the time. My favorite person to ride with is my wife.
Yeah.
And we ride 99% of the time together. I tried talking her into doing Iron Dog with me, and she wouldn't do that. So.
Yeah, that's a little beyond my capacity. But yes, I at one point a couple years later really had just like a little brain moment where I was like, wait, I'm the only one not having fun here. And I'm looking around, everybody's high-fiving each other and having the best day. And I'm like crying in my helmet, just having a bad attitude all over the place. And boy, when my attitude is bad, it is bad. And so I decided I was going to learn it. Because I didn't want to, it was like, I either need to learn this thing or I need to stay home because I'm being a fun stealer.
Yeah.
And so I decided this one day that I was going to copy and do whatever the guy in front of me did. It wasn't David at that time. It was just somebody. I don't even know who it was. And so I had like this little brain moment. And so I stood up and I started leading on the sled. And like every time the guy in front of me would step over to the one side, I would do it. And when I would see him move his hand, I would move my hand there. And I just like copy, repeat the person in front of me. And I ended up like having the best time that day. And I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's the way to do it. Yeah, just find someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And just study the heck out of them, and then try and replicate it. Right.
She'd come home and call Brett.
Yeah, I did make friends with Brett Rasmussen that following year at a snow show, and I was like, Brett, you need to help me here. So yeah, he's giving me lots of pointers over the day.
And then boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, cool. So what's outside of snowmobiling, right? Like, what do you guys do with life that affords you to be so involved and so engaged in the sport? I mean, you said 110 days right? That's a lot of days.
That's a lot of days.
And so what allows you guys to do that?
I've owned several businesses. My dad always told me, you're gonna go build your own dream, or you're gonna build somebody else's. And so we went out. We've been very successful at a lot of things. I got a work ethic that's like no tomorrow. I've got loyalty, and we've been able to be real successful. And now, since the kids are gone, we're chasing snowmobiling like no tomorrow. Getting involved in a lot of different things like Congress and clubs. Melissa's secretary of the Utah Snowmobile Association. We started a club, and so
which we're going to get into. Yeah, talk about this. Yeah,
I just successful at life. I've been. Some people call it luck, but I am like most people don't want to be unlucky long enough to be lucky.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I feel like we work hard when we're home.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
When we have to work, we'll work, and
but when it's playtime, it's playtime.
We'll play twice as hard as we'll work. I guarantee you that.
Yeah. What's your superpower then? Because you made my 11-year-old showed up and he saw this box of donuts, and I'm like, he was stoked. Okay.
They were good donuts.
And so he starts going into it. I'm like, you need to go thank Uncle David and Aunt Melissa for these donuts, because they brought them over here. So but like, what's your superpower? Like, what's
passion?
It's the passion.
Passion's a huge thing. You know, a guy named Brett Rasmussen told me people will do more for passion than they'll do for money, and I believe that 100%. And snowmobiling, come on, where else do you have people that aren't family that's family? Our family is snowmobiling. We just left our family in Southern California, and I couldn't wait to get here to hang out with everybody here.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's the passion of this whole sport and the love. Everybody has a common goal and a common thing. Nobody's jealous of each other. So it's passion.
And the other thing too, and I was talking to someone just earlier today, the amount of snowmobile, like what other industry, can you think of any other industries where from basically September through November, almost every weekend in North America, there is like a snowmobile expo, event, show. It's like every weekend.
Yeah.
And then there's like, now that you're seeing, more and more video premieres, like you couple that in, like there's so many things going on that when you're in the bubble, you kind of think it's normal. But if you kind of step out of it, you're like, wait a second, like, I know some passionate people with pickleball, but there's there's tournaments you can go play in, but there's not like trade shows and events and all these things that are just so many of them,
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think, like you said, it's passion. I think everyone who snowmobiles goes through the same struggle every year. Something gets taken, that passion gets taken away from you, right? You can't just go down, you can't be playing outdoor pickleball, and then when it gets cold, if it gets cold where you live, then you just go indoor and play pickleball, right? So that everyone, in the industry, there's a moment where I can't do snowmobiling anymore, and I have to wait. And I think that kind of helps breathe that passion of like, everyone here knows and experiences that.
Well, with your 11-year-old, how many events are you going to go to and let your 11-year-old run around everywhere and know they're going to be safe?
Exactly.
I can set Melissa's purse down at Rimshaw's booth sitting right out there in front, and I know
Don't tell people that.
Nobody will take anything. Next to NFR and the rodeos, this is it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's family oriented. You trust people. I can know this. If you broke down on the side of the road and somebody comes by and they're a snowmobile and they see you got a sled, they're going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, where else do you find that?
Yeah.
You don't.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good theory. You know what I think about snowmobiling, and I tell people this all the time. Where else, as a grown adult, could you go play with your friends? And you play with your friends, and you get in situations. Like every ride, there's some kind of situation that you have to figure out as a group how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Like somebody's going to break a sled, or somebody's going to run into something, or or there's always something that happens. And so I feel like there's such a camaraderie out there with your riding group or the people that you ride with that you just kind of become brothers, sisters. Like whatever it is, like your ride group are your very best, most trusted friends.
Yeah, they have to be.
Yeah,
especially when you're riding backcountry terrain. You don't have a lot of options out there if things go south. So, to answer your question, I did think of something on the spot.
Yeah,
adult escape rooms. That's where you go play with other adults.
But still not as fun as snowmobiling. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was like trying to think. I'm like, that's actually pretty true.
Where do you play with your friends?
There's always that competition, but it's friendly competition.
Yeah.
You'll poke at each other and make fun of skidoos and Arctic cats and everything, but at the end of the day, everybody walks away with a smile on their face and happy with each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, there we go. Well,
it's true.
We were chatting. I think it was at the Utah Snowmobile Show. You kind of hinted at some congressional movements that were going on and your involvement. And honestly speaking, I had no idea what
Congress was.
Congress was up, like what they do. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it just Snowmobile Congress? International
Snowmobile Congress. Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you who are watching or listening to this, probably a good high percentage of you who probably don't know what goes on.
Go check it out
at this thing.
It is so important to us. Right?
What is it? What is this event? How often does it happen?
So the International Snowmobile Congress is held every June. So once a year in June, all of the leaders in your state associations get together with the American Council of Snowmobiles. So just to give you a quick rundown of how this works. When you join a club, then you are joining part of the American Council of Snowmobiles. So if you join a club, a piece of your dollars goes to your state association. Your state association is kind of like the umbrella over each club in every state. That state association makes contacts and keeps your riding areas open by being friends with the avalanche centers and the Forest Service and the Department of Natural Resources and
the manufacturers.
The manufacturers and all of the things. So your state association does that. And then all of the states belong to the American Council of Snowmobiles. So those are the people that are always watching what's happening in government. So they're the ones when something is happening in our actual Senate or our actual Congress or the Trump administration right now, they're paying attention to all of the logistical things that are happening before they happen, so that we have a voice as snowmobilers to keep our riding terrain open, whether that be in the trails or here out west. They're always kind of watching out for us, if that makes any sense.
So they're the ones who are their brains are proactively thinking and aware of what is happening and what could happen.
Exactly.
And like we talked about a minute ago, most of us are reactively thinking.
Right.
We show up to the parking lot. There's a sign that says zone is closed or parking lot's closed. And we're like, what the heck? How'd this come to pass?
If they were closing that a year to 2 years before that, there's open comment sessions and everything else that through a club, that's the important of joining your local club. If it's Magic Valley, if it's the one where you're at, if it's our club, Bear Valley Riders, if it's top of Utah, whatever it is, by joining them, then you find this out and then you have a voice 2 years before all of this happens. And if we don't have a voice, what happens? Everything gets closed. We went through this in California, losing area. And that's why it's become such a passion to us to get involved in it.
Yeah.
Because most people want to go ride, but they have no idea of all the logistics behind that to get it to that point.
Yep.
Exactly. So to answer your question, the International Snowmobile Congress that is held in June is a meeting where the Canadian associations, the American associations, and there are a few sometimes from like Sweden
Scandinavian
and
countries.
Europe and other places that come, and they all get together once a year in June to have an in-person meeting. Usually a representative from every state attends this meeting. So they put it out for bid, and it hops from region to region to region. And last year it was at Prince Edward Island up in Canada. And this year in
Nebraska.
2026, it will be held in Nebraska. And we put a bid in as the Utah Snowmobile Association to do the Congress, or hold the Congress in Salt Lake City, Utah. So we're going to be hosting, and we won the bid.
So when you say you put a bid in, explain to me what's that process like?
We had to show that what our budget was going to be, show that we had the money to back all of that, show we had the facilities to do it, and sell them on the idea why we were going to be better than someplace else.
And where does the money come from? Is it from the associations,
Utah
or is it
Snowmobile
private
Association
donations?
is putting it together.
Okay.
And it does cost to come to it. Then we will have sponsorships and things like that to be able to pay for it all.
Who can go to it? General public?
Anybody can come to
So
it.
it's kind of like a show where you just kind of come punch your ticket, pay.
Right.
And,
Yes,
and what
yes and
are you doing? Like if I go there, what am I doing as a generalist there?
So they do hold a lot of different meetings there. Some of them are closed meetings. So the elected officials of, say, all of the club, like of the association presidents, will go to the ASCA meeting, which is a closed meeting, where they plan and learn and do all of their group meetings. But there's also a whole bunch of what do you call them? Open sessions.
Breakout sessions.
The breakout sessions, anyone can attend, and they're going to be topics that snowmobilers want to learn about. So you're going to be able to come in and do like 3 breakout sessions and learn a bunch of stuff in June and participate and just kind of get your feet wet of like learning what happens on the back end. They also have like opening sessions where they bring in big name speakers and things. The manufacturer associations are there. So yeah, all of the manufacturers come, and
well, we're working on Utah. I leave here and go to Salt Lake to kind of ink the deal and put it together. Cody Sargent and I are co-chairing it for June of 27.
Okay, so next, not
this June. Yeah. So and then we're doing it at Little America, and so we want maybe a cocky statement. We want everybody in the snowmobile industry to know what we have out west.
Do they give you a number on attendance? Like, can you say, here's the number, and I want to blow that number out of the water?
Yep.
Is that available to you? Because that seems like that would be valuable to know. Like
the averages are about 400 people show up to these things. We honestly believe, and probably get in trouble for saying this, I think there's no doubt we can get 700 to 800 people. We're going to do day use so people can come in, see what's going on. We're excited about doing some things with a media room so you could come and do your podcast with people from other places and things like that, and bring in some of the bigger names from the mountains.
Yeah.
And my goal when we decided to do this, we were sitting in Washington, D.C., and they said, we need to have some bids. And I said, we're going to do this. And at first, everybody was like, there's no way we're doing this. And I'm like, yeah, we are. And so my goal with Congress, with the mountains, with Rimshaw, with all the Rocky Mountain stuff and everything, is in 10 years, when they look back at Congress, they still are talking about how great Salt Lake City was.
Yeah.
And to open people's eyes up about what we have.
Well, I think it's going to be a really great chance for some new people to get involved and get excited about making a difference out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, companies like yours, you know, having your stuff there, and these guys now who ride trail sleds get all excited about wrapping their sleds and everything. Things that hasn't even went east yet is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. East meets west. It'll be really cool.
Yeah.
At the crossroads of America.
Right there in Salt Lake City. And it's very convenient for us to drop down. So I'm excited. I mean, I've obviously don't know much about it, but any way we can get involved, I'm happy to I'm kind of like you. Like I want to know that number and like
blow it
I
out.
want to go blow it out of the water, right?
Well, I think somebody else already said this, but Salt Lake, when I walk in there, the words are, "This is the place."
This is the place. Yep. Someone already said that. Yep.
But no, I mean, that's the thing. We want to think about, I'm being pretty biased right now. Think about the cool businesses that are out west. You guys, Starting Line, Z Brothers, all them things that them guys back there kind of see, but they really don't know much about it. Flow Television, they watch the hill climbs, but a lot of them have no idea. You can show up and go watch this. You can enter the amateur thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we do, and how big can we make this, and how can we move it into the next generation?
Yeah,
I mean,
which is key.
I'm
right?
old. But the majority of people, and they're probably not going to like this
old.
when I say this, is people at Congress are a lot older than I am.
Yeah.
And the only way we're going to keep this alive is if we move it into the younger generation.
Yeah.
The kids 11, 10, 12 years old, if we don't have them out doing stuff, they're not going to want this passion.
Yeah. I mean, look at that right there. We need kids playing on the old Arctic Thunder, right?
I love this.
Like, look at that kid right there. He is in heaven right now.
Yep.
So for the viewers, right to our right, there is an arcade game with a snowmobile on it, and there's 3 little boys just
He
having
is side hilling right now,
time
doing something. Yeah.
of their lives right there.
Well, that just speaks again about the whole industry and the passion thing. Come on, your kid's 11 years old. I remember growing up. I loved to hunt. I loved to fish. I loved to do all them things. But one of my most favorite things was to go get on a snowmobile and go riding with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned to wrench on sleds. And I was with him.
Yep.
And so many of them lessons through snowmobiling and things like that were life lessons that then took me into my older life and taught me things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's things like that they're missing, I think, in America today that is in this room right now.
Yeah.
And so.
For sure. Well, as far as you kind of touched on the decisions that are there actual concrete decisions that get made, or are they conversation starters that end up potentially being decisions that get made at International Snowmobile
Everything
Congress?
starts with a conversation, right?
Yeah. It's not like you're going there and voting on something and boom, whoever, it's going down there.
When you go to Congress, like Melissa was saying, with her being secretary of Utah Snowmobile Association, she's got very well educated about all this stuff. But when you go there, all they're doing is setting up a group of people that are able then to have educational conversations to be able to make things work. Mm-hmm. Because you and me, without their help, we don't really know what's going on. We know, they're going to close our trails down. And that's what we know. We don't know everything behind it and how to address it to be able to work around that problem. Mm-hmm. Whatever the problem is, I believe there's rewards and consequences to everything. So if we can figure out how to make the rewards work in our favor by working with people, that's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even like if we understand the problem, if we understand the other side, no one wants to feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. So the more you understand, okay, how can we best make this a win-win, for everybody? We might have to give a little, they may have to give a little, but in the end, it's a much better result for snowmobilers. Right? Like that's what we want, right? But we can't just be like put a wall up and say it's this or nothing, right? Like
you need to join clubs. That club gives you a voice. It's like if you don't join that club, you really don't have a right to have a voice.
Yeah.
Because it's the people at the clubs then in turn are working with Congress, the states clubs and everything else that helps keep our stuff open. And it's not just snowmobiling. Them trails are side-by-side trails too.
Yeah.
And our club that we started out in California, we're a year-round club because we figured if we can work with side-by-siders, jeepers, and snowmobilers, then we're all the trails we all use together. So we have a bigger voice. Instead of 200 snowmobilers, we got 2,000 jeepers and side-by-siders that have a voice, like Melissa said. So when we go to the Forest Service and say, hey, look, this is what we think, we have 2,000 club members. We have a bigger voice than if we go in and say, hey, I'm Dave Wagner. I like to ride up there, and I want to keep this open. And they're like, okay.
Okay.
But when they got
Thank
these
you.
2,000
Thanks,
people,
Dave.
when
Yes,
they have
thank you for your
2,000
opinion,
people
Dave.
behind there, but then you take that 2,000 people from one association and you take it to one club to the state association, now you have 10,000 people. So now in Utah, when you go before Cox or something like that down there, and you say, hey, look, we're speaking for these people. We want Moab open, or we want Logan Canyon to stay open, and the Sink Trails or something like that. There's more people behind all of that, and they listen to you.
He's thinking, oh, if I'm just going to upset Dave, I can upset Dave.
Yep.
Exactly.
If I've got I don't know if I want that problem. I don't know if I want to go down.
Right.
I don't want my name to go down like that, right? Yeah, that makes total sense.
But, with clubs comes along responsibilities. If you're going to put your name on that thing, you have to be a responsible rider out there. Don't leave your crap laying around everywhere.
Which we all are very responsible riders anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's all kind of things the clubs make. The clubs make the trails work, and that's why the clubs are so important.
Yeah.
What's $50? Our club. You're one of the great people that have done it. You join our club, you have an opportunity of being able to get a discount on your wraps.
Yep.
Oxbow radios, a couple other places we're putting together right now, and so you join. You spend $50 to join the club. You go buy a wrap. You're getting your money back anyway.
Your money back, on that.
And you're doing a good thing for us.
Yeah.
We're then have a voice, not just put on rides and hang out and things like that, but we have the money then to send somebody to Congress that then can send somebody to Washington, D.C. to the fly-in that then gets to walk around D.C. and talk to all the senators in their area and help explain to them what we do.
Yeah. You guys, you keep talking about your club. What I don't think you mentioned is you guys just started this club, right?
We did.
Bear
Valley
Riders.
Yep.
What's membership like? How long ago did you start it?
We started, it took a long time. We ended up we did it as a nonprofit.
Okay.
So we have to file all the papers and everything else. Had to put a board together. Finding somebody that wanted to be in charge of the money was no fun.
We had a hard time finding a treasurer, honestly.
Yeah.
So we finally
we have one now.
Good.
We got it all running. Membership's starting to grow. And, our goal is to have 400 members by this time next year, which is a big club.
Yeah.
But, if you go ride, and I don't want to sound cocky, I don't want to sound egotistic, but if you're going to go ride on my trails, the trails we help take care of and everything else, and you want to complain about it, then pay into the club that we can change something. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, if you're not involved in that, you got no reason, you got no right to speak, if that makes sense. And so it sounds cocky, but that's how I feel. If you want to have a word about it, you got to have some responsibility to it.
Yeah. And so what's interesting is you guys just started this club. Mm-hmm. And one of my original questions to you was, are we watching the death of clubs? Yeah. Because I think there you could put a maybe in that box, right? And so the follow-up question is, I think everyone can assume club members are typically an older generation.
They are.
Which was great years ago, but the math doesn't math.
Right.
And so everyone, I think, knows what needs to happen. The torch needs to be, the baton needs to be passed down. But if that generation isn't willing or isn't even there to grab the baton, now we got a problem. So how do we, what's your thought on how can clubs do a better job in making sure there's someone there to pass that baton on to?
Well, it's a huge question. I mean,
massive.
Huge.
If there was a solid answer, I think, and it was easy, everyone would just. I
don't think I know the answer, but without a club, I will tell you, snowmobiling will disappear. You look in Utah, the association is starting to take over grooming and things like that. But without that club, there's not going to be that grooming.
Yeah.
And without the grooming, as well as I do, they're going to start screaming and hollering, trails are getting ripped up and everything else.
Yep.
Cross-country skiers are going to have a fit in that. So It's a huge question. I can't answer that. I don't really have an answer, but I know if we don't somehow encourage the next generation to get involved in this, we're not going to have what we have, what I grew up with. I mean, like I said, I grew up in Kemmer, Wyoming, and we had a club clean back as far as I could remember. And we went out, took care of the trails during the summer. We cleaned things up. Rory, that has Onyx, they give chainsaws and that away for people during the summer that will go out and clean up trails and that. They give them a steel chainsaw on that. And so if we don't have that, we're not going to have any trails. And little by little, and it gets political, they're going to take it away from us. And if we don't have the clubs to be able to speak up for it, the Forest Service does nothing more than enforce the rules that get put in place. We are going to lose all our riding. So being able to get the next generation in is huge. And if somebody has the answer for it, I want to hear how we can make it work.
So you're in an elevator, both the two of you. Okay, with a snowmobiler, never joined a club ever.
Yes.
Has never even thought about joining a club. You've got 15 seconds in that elevator with that individual to sell. When they walk out of that elevator, they are going to donate to a club. What are you saying? How are you pitching that? What are you saying to that person?
Do you want me to pitch it or you?
Go for it.
All right. Well, first I would ask if they're a member of the club.
No members. They've never even thought about joining a club.
Okay. So I would say, hey, you should join Bear Valley Riders Snowmobile Club. And they're going to say, why? And I'm going to say, because we're going to keep your trails open so that you have a place to ride. When you come up, there's going to be a trail there. We're going to protect your rights as a rider. And that's the biggest thing. Second, if you're a beginner, clubs are great because if you just want to learn how to snowmobile, like you could just go with a club on a club ride and someone will take you under your wing and show you need to put oil in your sled because a lot of new people don't even know that they need to put oil in their sled. If you need help learning how to change your belt or all of the really basic things, if you're join a club, they're going to help you to get started. I understand, like, this is beyond the elevator thing, but I do understand, like, hey, a lot of people just want to go ride with their ride group. Why would I pay for a club? Because I'm just going to go ride with my 4 buddies and that's what we do. We hop from region to region. So we don't really want to like join this old dude's club over there. And I get it. Maybe you don't want to go on the poker run because that's not your thing. However, those clubs are keeping your parking lots clean. When you show up and there's an Avi beacon check station, mostly those across the country are provided by clubs, club memberships. Clubs do the fundraising to pay for those. They install them. A lot of the clubs are the ones that check the batteries and make sure that they're running appropriately. A lot of the clubs are the ones that petition to get a porta toilet at the trailhead. As part of the Utah Snowmobile Association, we just got a big grant for $650,000 to build a parking lot
in Franklin Basin.
So
and it's done.
We doubled the size, well, more than doubled the size of a much needed parking lot in Franklin Basin up near Bear Lake, Utah. And we were able to get the grant last year and the construction happened over the summer. And so we had some money left over because we had some really great people on that project. And I do believe that they were able to put up a whole bunch of new signs and a new beacon station and a new toilet in there. And so anyone that goes riding in that area is going to benefit from that. And that is the power of joining a club. Now that we've done that in Utah, we are going to be starting on another one. And a lot of good things are going to come out of that. But part of that is like being a good volunteer. And part of that is having a good club base so that when we wrote for the grant, we can say, this is how many people are going to benefit from that. And the Department of Natural Resources that we were working with said to us, like, we have a ton of money with the RTP funds that are available for the snow use. And usually snowmobilers don't use it. because nobody raised grants for it. Because the average snowmobiler isn't going to sit down in their free time and just like write a grant and go build a parking lot, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a member of the club, then that happens for you in the background.
Yeah. I think the brand, I don't know if you call it branding, but like that parking lot goes up.
Yep.
You better have signage so visible that says, because of this club, this exists. Otherwise, people will show up and say, city's great.
Nice.
You know, county's great.
I love this state.
Thanks. Yeah.
People have no idea the taxes, the RTP tax out there. You and me can't write for that grant. But as a club, we can write for that grant. This year, we were in Washington, D.C. talking about that. There's so much money out there. And if we don't take it to use trails, it gets rolled over into these general funds, and it goes for things sometimes to fight us from having trails. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so if, the club's huge. The RTP tax and the money that's available out there to do stuff is insane. You could do 10 podcasts on that for clubs to be able to gather that stuff up and do something.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what I think the bottom line is? All right. I'm going to talk to you viewers out there real quick. If you can afford to buy a snowmobile, and you can afford to put gas inside the snowmobile, and you can afford to put oil in it,
you can afford a wrap, you can put bumpers on, you can go replace the can.
You can drop $50 into doing something.
And you can put some Ice Age rails on that thing, and you can be the coolest guy out on the mountain with your super cool mono suit, and all of the things. Paying $30 to $50 to protect the riding area that you couldn't even take your sled out in if it got taken away.
Right.
Join a club.
Yeah.
Like just feel like it's your civil duty.
Yep.
It's really not that big a deal. Like skip going to McDonald's later because McDonald's is going to cost you $35.
Yeah.
We spent that on donuts today.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But hey. We were the beneficiaries of that, though. Appreciate that one.
Those donuts were good.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, great. So the whole club thing was something that I felt like I personally needed to have a conversation. Like, I just need to know more about it. For those who are listening who are in Southeast Idaho, riding in our zones, I think you're probably in a similar mind. I think mountain riding in general, I think has a little bit softer view on clubs, whereas trail riders, Midwest, East, were like, I cannot get off this, 20-foot trail, and the clubs are what make this 20-foot trail possible for me, right?
Well,
and so I, you guys have enlightened and inspired me to be better at that. So
he's going to join a club.
Well, the club thing, when you said we have these areas to ride, you can believe it or you can't believe it, but it is going to happen. It's a matter of time before they're coming for all the riding area.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but it is coming.
Yeah.
Because even though I don't know if you want to call them the evil side or the other side, there's very few of them people, but they have a huge voice and they want everything shut down. And without joining a club, it will happen. And you're going to show up in a parking lot one day and it's going to say it's closed. And you're going to say, why? If you went back in time, you would have been able to do something.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, I think just a little bit ago, we probably will never have more access today than we had yesterday.
Our freest day of riding was today.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah.
As we round this, you talked about passion in the beginning and where it stems from, and you shared kind of some personal stuff that is kind of help driving this passion in life in general. I know you made a couple posts about it on Facebook. You're dealing with your own health issues, but you're still.
That's what the doctors believe. I don't believe
The
that.
doctors say that.
Yeah.
But that hasn't clicked in there. And you told me kind of what your view on that is and what your plan is going forward. I thought it was a pretty interesting way to take it. And I don't, if you don't mind sharing, I think it might, provide some inspiration to some, because everyone has something whether it's you, whether it's your kid, your wife, your grandma, friend,
Everybody has
everyone has
something,
something, right? So
you never know when you're dealing with somebody and they're pissy or upset or whatever, and you never know what somebody's going through. But one of my favorite sayings is, nobody will ever know you died until they knew you lived. True?
True.
So,
yeah.
I've been dealing with it for a while. I don't like going to the doctor, but what was it, July, they told me I had cancer. There's nothing they can do with it. And they have their theory of how long it is and how long you can last and things like that. And I've just chosen, I don't believe them. Everything happens for a reason out there. And this is just a new journey that we're doing. And it's really driven the passion to know tomorrow for snowmobiling, for families, because snowmobiling had such an impact in me as a younger person, and the people we're friends with, that's where they're at. So it's driven the passion to see some really incredible things happen over the next few years.
Yeah.
If all things go the way they say, and I move on to the big powder and someplace else to go riding for a while, I want to be able to have done enough things that we can push the next generation far enough ahead that it's going to make a huge difference, and have somebody else grab that passion to do this.
Wow.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So I believe one of my favorite sayings is, they'll never know you died unless they knew you lived.
Yeah.
And, a friend of mine, John Maxwell, has always said, if they opened up that obituary, what would it say about you? And I don't want mine to say I just coasted through life and kind of hung out and did things.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to bed with regrets. That's my whole thing. I don't live a life of regrets, period. That's it.
Yeah.
So
that's powerful. I know, as I've thought about like obituary and funeral, who's going to show up, it's like you can control and dictate who shows up by the connections and relationships that you built here, while you're here. The passion that you have with this kind of initiative of, it takes you back to happy memories growing up and wanting that to be passed on to complete strangers right here in this arena is pretty remarkable. And I think that's pretty cool.
I'll watch little kids start riding. We were down at the grass drags with Levi, and watching them little kids and watching their dads do stuff like Houston over there with his kid, getting him all ready to grass drag and everything else. There's just nothing really like that, I don't think, period. Yeah. That's it.
Especially when you've tasted that before and you know what that passion can lead to.
Yep.
For real. One of the things that I believe is you're never going to regret the things that you did. You're going to regret the things you didn't do.
Yep.
So if you have something that is on your mind or something that you want to accomplish in life, whether it be in snow or something else,
anything.
Yep.
Step forward and do it already. Don't let it go for another year or another day or another time, because you never know how much time you might have. You might have a long time, but you might not.
Yeah.
And so if there's something that just drives your soul, then do it today.
The only way you fail is not doing it.
You won't be sorry. Yeah. You might learn along the way, and you might stumble on the way, and life gets hard sometimes for everybody. We all have stuff, right? We all have
Get
stuff.
knocked down 7 and get up 8.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not the only one that matters is the 8th one, right?
That's it.
Right?
You just got to get there. Yeah.
You just keep trucking along, but at the same time, do it. Just do it.
Do it.
So.
Love it. Well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all that you do.
This has been a great conversation. I've had a bunch of different types of people put the headsets on this season of the Sleddercast, and I like having different kinds of people, different personalities, different experiences. Otherwise, conversations would just get boring, at least to me, right? So I appreciate you guys coming on. We appreciate you out there listening, watching. It's fun to hear people come up and say they appreciate the show. It's great. So like, subscribe, go follow. Where should we send people?
Well, Melissa's got a pretty cool
Facebook.
following.
Do you guys hang out mostly on Facebook?
We do.
So
We hang out,
Facebook is the place for you guys.
Facebook's the place, but yeah, Melissa has Brap Like a Girl, and then we have just me, David Wagner, on Facebook.
Great.
Go check it out.
We'll link it up. We'll link it all up, and I'm excited to kind of follow you guys along and see how the progression of the Congress, the International Snowmobile Congress, goes as we get closer to Salt Lake City.
It's going to be the best there is. Period. That's it. We've made that decision.
I think it's going to be amazing.
You've stamped it right there.
It's
so
there.
there's no only thing left to do is just do it.
That's
right?
it.
I mean, we're going to do a good job for y'all.
It's going to be a great job. We're putting together a great board, and the event's only as good as the board, and the board's only as good as the people that are on it, and they're only as good as the vision that the leader puts together.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to have a great time. So if everybody goes and buys a wrap, they join a club.
Join a club.
And take their kids out riding.
Join a club.
We're going to have one
Yeah.
heck of a winner this year. It's going to be exciting.
Yep. Awesome.
Okay, actually, take our kids out riding. That's your number one. Number two, join a club and get a wrap for your kids.
All right, we'll do it in that order. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yep.
And thank you for everything you do. We're looking so excited to working with you this year.
Yep, we're pumped.
We're going to wrap Melissa's sled and go wrap my Rimshaw sled. And it's going to have no regrets on it. So we're excited.
No
Heck
regrets. It's still cool to ride a $1,000 sled.
Yep.
Like, vintage sleds are where it's at, and those are the safest sleds to put your kids on, in my opinion.
Great.
I wouldn't change my learning lesson for anything.
Yeah, if you can toss one of those older sleds around, then you can
Right?
handle everything else.
Like, put your kid on a super old sled, and you won't go wrong, because when they run into something, it doesn't hurt so bad.
Well, let's just meet a whole bunch of people this year and see how we can change snowmobiling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you.